Thank you for joining me today, Matilda. Let's start with who you are, what you're up to, and yeah, just a little bit about you for people listening. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So, my name is Matilda. I'm a grade 10 student at William Eberhart High School. And yeah, this is my project to get free feminine hygiene product dispensers in the girls' bathroom.
Excellent. And remind us, today's a special day, right? What's today for folks who don't know?
It's Menstrual Equity Day and Menstrual Awareness Day, so a kind of day to make people aware of people that have periods and how they deal with them and the barriers that are in their way, and just kind of an advocacy day.
Amazing. Out of curiosity, is there anywhere people can go to find information about that on today?
Well, there's a website that I like, or an Instagram account called The Period Purse. I follow them. They're a Canadian-based organization, and they have a lot of good information.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that, Matilda. Okay, so yeah, so you're trying to make sure that feminine hygiene projects are free for any student that needs them in high school, at your high school,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
And so what does that look like? Why are you doing that? What's the rationale behind the project?
Well, I just thought that it kind of started with a feeling that I had when I got my period in a bathroom one day and there was nothing there. And I was like, well, there's got to be other girls like me. And it was a really, really bad feeling. And there was nobody else there. And I didn't know that my school had stuff, which
Wow.
they don't. So I was like, well, I want to do something to stop this.
Yeah, that's nuts. I can actually remember a very similar scenario, not just once, but many times when I was in high school where I felt I forgot to prepare myself. And yeah, it's also something that we don't talk about enough because it does feel like it's your own thing that happens and not really just an understanding of what it's like for, like, before it comes kind of thing.
Yeah,
Right?
especially in high schools, there's lots of stigma around it. Like, people will just say, like, I'm not feeling well. I need to go home to a teacher, instead of, like, I've got my period. Nobody will ask each other for products when they need them. And
Right.
people will just pretend they don't have it, or they'll, like, laugh about it. Like, haha, I got my period, when it's a serious biological thing.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard there are certain cultures that will celebrate it, and it'll be a big moment for people. And you're right. That's amazing to hear that it hasn't changed much since I was in high school, because I remember having all of those same experiences of shame almost with it, or like trying to hide it, or just make light of it and not take it seriously. And a lot of problems come with it too. I remember having lots of pain, and in some cases where it was debilitating. So, yeah, it's something we should really understand better and be okay with talking about, right?
Yeah, definitely. And that's kind of like a tangent to my project. Of course, my main thing is to get the feminine hygiene products, but I also want to increase awareness and increase people talking about it at my school.
Amazing. So important. I really appreciate you taking this initiative. So, how can people help? What can people do to get involved? Let's start with adults like me, and then we'll talk about students.
So I have a change.org petition. So you can go on their website and search for William Aberhart, and my petition will pop right up, and you can sign that. You can reach out to, if you have kids, or if you know people who have children at schools, you can email their principal or the administration to ask what their kind of situation is. You can get involved in parent councils, or you can email school board trustees and MLAs.
Amazing. Thank you. Those are all awesome. And I will try to make sure to give as much information as possible when I post this video or this conversation for folks. So, what about students? How can students get more involved in what you're doing, Matilda?
So when you're at school and you have something, you can, first of all, just talk about it, even if it's a friend or two friends. That's people that know about it. You can mention it to your guidance counselor in their appointment. You can insist with your teachers and your principals and your assistant principals. Tell them that this is something that we need, because the more students that bring up this issue, the more likely they are to move forward with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. It's something that we should be expecting of our classrooms, our schools, I should say, because, yeah, the thing that we think is important is the thing that we will start feeling is okay and safe to talk about, things like that. Amazing. I can see the value in what you're doing. It's wonderful stuff. So, can you talk a little bit about the state of education for you, Matilda? What's it like these days?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have
So,
concerns? What are your thoughts for people?
yeah, so schools right now, they're like the class sizes are so big that, for example, in my math class, half of the students needed help in the trigonometry unit, but the teacher could only help a few of those students because there wasn't enough support for all of them and all of their questions, because each student had multiple questions and they needed the teacher to go over it multiple times. It's just crazy. It's too
Yeah.
big, and it's always so loud. And sometimes there's not even enough desks in the classrooms for everybody to sit at.
Thank you for saying that because I've heard people try and tell me online that that's not true. And I had heard that William Aberhart was one of those schools that there literally was not enough seats for students to be in some classes. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's ridiculous. And even in like classes like yoga, there's not enough space in the yoga room for like 35 people to do yoga and not crash into each other every pose we're doing.
Right, I can just imagine. I've been in a yoga class that's packed, and that 35 is nuts. That's a huge room that's required for that. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Matilda. Is there anything else you want to add before we close? So I'm hearing that people should go to change.org. They should check out your petition. They should talk to their the schools that their students go to. Make sure that this is accessible, and that students should talk about this amongst themselves and with their guidance counselor and with their teachers and make it a priority. Anything more you
Yeah,
want to add?
students can talk to their parents too. And if you support me, follow me on Instagram at ABE And I believe we're doing a bake sale this month or maybe next. So I'll follow up with that.
Excellent. So they can look to your Instagram, which is ABE Flows. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Great.
correct.
So ABE Flows on Instagram. Find out about the bake sale that's coming up shortly. Thank you for all you're doing, Matilda. Make sure you poke me when you're doing that so I can make sure people know to get out there and get some baked goods with you. Support the cause.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care for now.